Okay, hi guys, and welcome to another sort of. This isn't an update. This is a kind of a review of a set that I've got. This is one that I've had in my collection for 2 years now, I believe. I picked this up because it was such a bargain. I couldn't actually get over, quite how cheap I'd picked this up for. So I'll give you a few hints before I actually tell you what it is. It's from a British horror studio. I've probably given that away already from just that. It helped carve the career of Christopher Lee. And they also produced some pretty interesting fantasy films, including one with an infamous fur bikini. If you haven't guessed it already, I am talking about the Ultimate Hammer Collection. That's right, this is one hell of a box set. Let me just get you a bit of a closer look at that. That's what you call a proper box set. Now, this one I picked up, as I said, I believe 2 years ago, and this was on Play.com's April Fool's Day sale, where they sell a load of their stock at kind of unbelievable prices. Unfortunately, the last couple of years, their sale's been a bit rubbish, so I haven't actually bought anything off it since. But this cost me, I think it was £30, and this includes 21 movies. From some of their most famous ones to some of the more obscure and unknown ones. The only really irritating thing that I discovered when I got this was that it had been bashed up in the delivery process. It had only come in kind of a really big jiffy bag, like what Play.com said most of their stuff in. So unlike a lot of box sets, like my West Wing box set that I showed you that came in a big cardboard box and it was well padded, this got a bit battered and bruised upon delivery. The worst culprit is in this corner here, but I suppose when you stand it from afar, it doesn't look too bad. It's only when you get close up and it's a bit scuffed, but that doesn't matter. I'm all right with that because I've got some hammer. So if I show you some of the sides, just go back in for a closer look. So as you can see, you've got a kind of a foil logo for it there, and it just tells you that it's the 21 disc collection box set. The Optimum and Studio Canal logos there. Its age rating. Then if we flip it on its top, we'll get this one over and done with because this is the worst culprit for how it looks. Get a really nice kind of fading cross on the top of that, which fits in really well with the design of the set. I suppose on the camera you can't see the kind of knocks too bad. Then on one side we've got a cross with a still from one of the movies. I believe that is Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I think that's what it's called. I will find out in a minute. And then another cross from, I believe, the Scars of Dracula. And then on the back you've got a little bit of information about the set and some of the special features. And then the bottom, you've just got all the information. You've got 1,973 minutes worth of hammer goodness in this. So staying a bit close up for the moment, if we lift the lid, it opens up like that, if you can see. And then inside we've got 4 books and just a stand. Plus we've got a few goodies. So I'm going to put this down for a second and we'll go into some of the goodies that we've got. So first off, we've got some postcards. Quite why you'd want to send these out to anyone, I don't know, because they're too nice. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. There we go. That's what I believe that shot is on one of the sides. So, the first art card we've got is Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Just kind of a basic. I believe these are just reprints of the initial posters for them, but they're really, really nice quality. Next up, we've got Quatermass and the Pit. For some reason, many people think that it should be called Quartermass and the Pit, but it's not. It's Quatermass. One of their more famous movies they produced. Then Frankenstein Created Woman, starring Peter Cushing. Another nice image there. All of Hammer's posters are all very, very stylish and kind of very in your face. 1 Million Years BC, another one of their more infamous ones. Many people don't realise that this is actually a Hammer production. I believe Ray Harryhausen was involved in this one. Yeah, he was. Harryhausen was involved in that. Then Dracula, Prince of Darkness, probably their most famous Dracula movie, starring a completely silent Christopher Lee. And then finally, this one probably won't show up on camera particularly well, but we've got the reptile. Let's see if I can get a bit closer on this one, because it is a bit difficult to see. It's just kind of some shots from the movie, mostly involving the reptile. And then on the back of all of them, you've just got your basic postcard layout. Then, the next thing we've got is a booklet. I love it when these things come with booklets. And you've got a complete overview of the Hammer studios, including stills. That one's from Frankenstein Created Women. And information on the key players, including Christopher Lee. Just skip forward a few. There we go. And then you've got overviews of every single one of the movies included in this collection. Now, I know when I was reading the reviews for this set, that there were a lot of reviews saying, yes, it's a fantastic box set, but there's quite a few movies in it that are a bit naff, really. And I kind of agree and disagree. I agree because of the fact that if you don't really understand the Hammer series, that you're going to think that some of the more obscure ones are bad. A lot of people that I've seen that have left reviews of this, where they've left negative reviews on it, have pretty much only praised the more famous of the Hammer films, such as 1 Million Years BC, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Scars of Dracula, and some of them have just kind of fallen by the wayside, which I think is a real shame, because personally I don't think there's a bad film in this box set. But that might have something to do with the fact that I am such a big Hammer fan that, you know, I struggle to see when they do something bad, because they're just something that I really, really love, which is weird because Hammer went kaput, I think, the year that I was born. Hammer died out. Of course, they've since been resurrected and are now producing some fantastic films, like the remake of Let the Right One In and Wakewood, which I really want to do a review of at some point, because it is just a phenomenal film. So if we take a look at the actual set itself, take the books out for a second. So this is what you what you wind up with when you take all the books out, you've got a nice stand there, nice sturdy stand. The only thing about this set really is you don't want to really be leaving this lid hanging like that, because as you can possibly see, I have got a bit of a tear there. So when I want it open, but I don't want the lid to rip off, I'll just kind of sit it down like that. The bottom doesn't seem to have any problems, but I think that's because it's actually part of this, whereas this is being held on with a bit of just a bit of cardboard really. So if we then jump into them, as I said, we have got 4 books. Now the one thing I've got to say about this packaging of this is they've done this really well. They could have done this in such a simple and horrible way, but instead they've actually gone and put effort into what they're doing for this. As you can see just by the designs of the books themselves, as you can see, we've got stills on the front and back of movies. Not only are they just random movies, but they are movies that actually appear in the sets. I won't go through the rest of them just yet. So if we take a look at the first book, as you can see, we've got a wide-eyed Christopher Lee on the front there. And then inside, you've got a list of all the movies that are included in the set, plus any special features that are listed on them. One of notable inclusion is a 56-minute documentary, no, 57-minute documentary on Christopher Lee and the Changing Faces of Dracula. Many Faces of Christopher Lee. So that is definitely worth checking out. Then you go to the discs. They've all got a really nice stylised design to them. So you've got She, very good movie starring Ursula Andress. You've got The Nanny, another very good, it's the only black and white movie in this set, starring Bette Davis. This is more of a psychological thriller. Then you've got Dracula, Prince of Darkness, of course, starring the legend that is Christopher Lee. Then you've got The Plague of Zombies, which I have to admit I thoroughly enjoyed. And then finally, you've got Rasputin the Mad Monk, starring Christopher Lee again. Another very good movie. There will probably be some movies that I will pick out of this set to do reviews of later on, really. But at the moment I'm just going to give you an overview of the set. So then you've got Raquel Welch on the front there from 1 million years BC, and then you've got the reptile there. Then if we open it up, again, lists of all the the films in there. And this one, the most notable extras really are on 1 million years BC, where you've got interviews with both Raquel Welch and Ray Harryhausen, so that's worth checking out. Then on the first disc we've got The Reptile. Second one, The Witches, very good pagan movie. 1 million years BC, just a classic adventure movie. The Viking Queen, starring Martine Beswick, another very good movie. And then we've got Frankenstein Created Women, which is a very interesting take on the Frankenstein story.